Hello everybody. I'm excited to work again today on EpicWeb.dev, and what we're working on is an app that we're going to be building as part of EpicWeb.dev. So let's bring up centered here so we can keep myself centered, because that's always good. Here we go, and let's go. I'm decided not to build the admin interface right now. Instead, what I think I was working on was the users page. Yep, that's what we're going to do. Maybe we should scaffold all the pages and then we can build them individually. So that's what we'll do. Scaffold pages. This is probably going to take like 3 hours, something like that. And there was another thing before we get into that, actually, that I think would be a good thing to do, and that is, where was it? I think it's in login. Yeah, right here. Actually, no, sign up has the bigger challenge here. Yes. Did I change something? I guess I didn't. Yeah, so with the updated version of, the remix validity state, this thing where the server info thing is coming from, validate server form data, that changed the TypeScript typings a bit, and this should all actually be inferred now, which is awesome. But here's the problem. The password, name, and redirect to, while they do appear in here in our form validations, when we spread that together like this, all that it sees is it's a form validations object, so it's a record string form validation thing. It does not see what the actual properties of this are, and so it doesn't know that password is on there. All it sees is the username, confirm password, and email, because that's what is here, username, email, and confirm password. So, and the reason that we do that is so that we can do these server-only validations here. Okay, anyway, so what we're going to try and accomplish here is making it so that form validations isn't just this form validation object, but rather that it satisfies the form validation API, so that we can get nice type checking here without losing the type checking down there. So there's actually a solution for this. It's called a CIF, a constrained identity function, and I made that up. I wouldn't call it easy or straightforward necessarily. It is a workaround, but there's a new feature in the latest version of TypeScript, which I don't know if that's released yet. So let's see. Yeah, so 4.8.3. This is in 4.9.0. And so let's just see if this would work. So we go, I don't know if that'll redirect or not. Yeah, I didn't think it would. So if we come down to CIF this, let's come down here to where we write it. Hold on. Let's see where the problem is. So I want to be able to have the calculator props. Oh, right. Yeah, so I want operations. Okay, actually, yeah, let's just go down to the end here, where we've got this. And we're going to go to TypeScript Playground. And expect error we hadn't as supported. Yeah, okay, perfect. So, and then this type is a number. So what I want to be able to do is get rid of this thing and instead be able to say this is that, but have an error right there. And actually, hold on, I deleted something I didn't want to. Right, so now these get auto set, but the problem is that when you do this, the record of string, and so it's like, yeah, no, this is totally fine, but it's not. So what TypeScript 4.9 is going to let us do, how do I change the version? Or if I change it to this, oh, let's try this. 4.9.0, does that work? Ah, rats. Nightly, yeah, that's probably what we want. Yeah, so then we grab this and we can say satisfies that. Boom. Excuse me. So that totally works. So satisfies is how you do this. That is so rad. I love this because it means that look, this is all just regular JavaScript right here. Boom, just totally regular JavaScript. And now, boom, here's the TypeScript bit that makes all of that type safe. Yeah, I love that. That's fantastic. Okay, so I'm not using unreleased software in my stuff. I think that's silly. So what we're going to do instead is, in my blog post, I talk about making a generic CIF. And I say, yeah, probably don't want to do that, but I actually decided that it's not all that bad. So we're going to make a generic CIF for now. Miscellaneous utils, stick this down here. Export constrain. And then we'll come in here. We'll say constrain form validations. And boom. So now we get type checking here and autocomplete and all that niceness, but we also get the types being merged properly here because it can see what the actual properties are and stuff. So that's sweet. Redirect to is not appearing because it's not in our form validations. You might look at this and think, hold on a second, I think he's probably done this already. And yes, I did actually. So yeah, and actually we don't need to type on that. That's just a regular text string is incorrect anyway. Okay, and we'll do the same thing for our error messages. Constrain, and that's what we want. And in the future, we will do satisfies, but for now, we're going to do constrain. You know what? While I'm thinking about this, we'll go to that blog post, CIF, constrain identity. Yep, there it is. And we're going to add somewhere in here. Call out success. In version 4.9.0 or TypeScript version introduces satisfies, which satisfies our use cases here. Please feel free to skip to the end if you're using if you're using TypeScript v 4.9.0 or greater. Okay, and then we'll come down here. TypeScript 4.9.0 satisfies. And actually, do I got Docker running? I have to run the Docker container for my site because it is running Postgres. Yep. Okay. Cool. So we can run. Oops. And we'll just come localhost blog. Where is it? think it may have been cached. No. Huh. There we go. Refresh content. Okay, cool. Ah! Weird. You know what? I think this might be related to something else going on. Yeah, I still need to look into why this is happening. Huh. That's weird. Satisfies. Did I misspell that? There we go. Okay, yeah, I think I have some sort of bug with my local development of my site. That's okay. All I wanted to get was what this ends up being for the anchor. So I can come over here and say, skip to the end. There we go. Skip to the end. Boom. Good. That works. Okay. So, satisfies. Where is it? Satisfies. With the satisfies. Is that how you spell satisfies? Yeah. Yeah. A keyword in TypeScript. You can avoid all these issues pretty easily. And it's basically, that's it. This effectively does the same thing and has none of the drawbacks. Hooray for progress. Yep, and that's all we're going to say actually about that. Add note about satisfies. And actually, there was a tweet discussion that got me thinking about this as well. So I'm going to find that and let them know that I updated. It does. Updated my post here. That push, yeah, okay. There we go. Look at how fast that was to update. I just love that. Okay, sweet. So anyway, with all that said, we are still using constrain over here for, yeah, our version of TypeScript purposes. Okay, great. So that fixes that. Let's, let's also do this for the login. Whoops. Sweet. So that takes care of that. Constrain things. Actually, you know what? Let's go to, this is a SIF, and we can ditch it as soon as TypeScript 4.9.0 is released. More info. And did I? Nope. Okay, there we go. Ah, I lost my browser. Okay, cool. Great. So now it's scaffold pages. I just stole 15 minutes of that scaffold pages' time, but there it is. Okay, so if we're looking at our notes, where's my notes? What are the pages we're going to have? Pages. So we'll have the home page, or we'll call these routes. We'll have user. Here, let's see what Turo does with their URLs for a particular user. So they have USEN, well, also 404. Here we go. So they have country, language, type, country again, city, make, model, ID. I do not want to have that kind of URL scheme, so we're not going to do that. And then they have, yeah, maybe this is like locale, USEN, maybe, and drivers, whatever. This is a driver, huh? Maybe it's the same regardless. Here, this is another driver. Yeah. Okay, so they just call them all drivers. We're gonna do U for user, or P for pilot. No, U, user ID. And then S for ship, ship ID. Maybe we just do user, ship, ships, users. That seems to make sense. See, like Twitter is like, hey, we'll just do that, but I don't want to, yeah, and actually this shouldn't be user ID, this should be username. Yeah, ship ID, and then we'll have, yeah, starports, starports, starport ID. Just had the thought maybe we'd just go with name in the URL there, but that seems dangerous. What if there was 2 Salt Lake cities somewhere? I don't know. So no, we'll just do starport ID. Yeah, because like we've got to make sure that we only do stuff that is enforced at the database level to be unique. Yeah, host, renter, admin, ship, brand. Yeah, we got our ship, starports, bookings. Do we need a maybe users, username, bookings? So this would only be visible to the user themselves. Edit, maybe. Edit for the owner, and maybe a book, or would that just be on the ship ID page? Maybe, yeah, maybe having a separate book page makes sense. Probably a new, ships new. Probably don't need a starports new. Not gonna let people create their own starports. That would just be, we want to have a conversation first about that. Oh, by the way, I should mention, remind people, I ignore the YouTube comments, so don't even bother. There's a link in the description of the video saying to come over here to chat. So come over here to chat. Okay. And let me see. Okay. Somebody, I looked at the YouTube live stream, and somebody did ask about CIFs. There you go. You can come over here, and I just put a link there. Okay. So yeah, we're not gonna create new starport. Okay, what about reviews? I think we'll just have those listed. Oh, shoot. There was an idea that I had. Yes. So one tricky thing with normalized databases is trying to have an array of items on a given model. So well, no, we kind of cover that because the chat has messages, you know, hosts have ships, things like that. What was I thinking? Right. Okay. So a chat that has multiple, so we just have renter and host, but what if we just wanted multiple users? Any number of users could be in this chat. Would that teach us anything useful? We'd have to make a model that was like a chat user that had the chat that they're associated to and the user they're associated to. I think we kind of get that actually with renter and host. Because it's a user ID. We don't really get that. How important is that? Like we do get an array of messages and because yeah, with that, when you have a many-to-many, really, like you've got two tables, there's many-to-many relationship here. You need a third table that can say, here's an instance of this relationship, like a table that holds the relationship. Is that important here? Can I teach that with what we've got? Or do I need to make a migration so that we can add that functionality to this? I don't think we have any many-to-manys in here. Like a ship can only be owned by a single host. A starport. Why is the title tomorrow's date? Oh, yeah, so on this, there's a bug in the bot right now. It's setting this to tomorrow's date. This is because the time zone is messed up. It's UTC, and I tried to fix that, but I didn't fix it. So I need to look into that to figure out why that's happening and make it not happen. Anyway, I kind of feel like we need to have a many-to-many relationship somewhere. We do not. There's no many-to-many relationships here. Let me make sure. User has one password, contact info, has a host, has a renter, has an admin, and has many messages. And each one of those can only be owned by one user. Yeah. A host can have ships, but ships can only have one host. Reviews can have, yep, only one. Renter reviews. Yeah, chats can only have one host. Yeah, I think we need to, we're going to do this. All right, so we have a new feature of the app, and that is so that we can have a many-to-many relationship here. So instead of host and host ID, this is, and renter ID, this is going to be participant. Is that what you would say, participant? Does that make sense? I think it does. Yeah, okay. Participant. So model chat participant. And this is actually going to be, yeah, all of that. Exactly. And then this. And then this. Come on, you can do it. saying that, spelling that right? Chat participant. There we go. Prisma has built in many-to-many relations, right? You don't need to manually create a join table unless you want some custom fields. Yes, I think you're right. Yeah, that actually may be correct. So we'd say users yeah, and then we come up here, say chats. Oh, snap. Nice. Good call, Jack. Thank you. Yeah, that's great. Thank you for that. Okay, where'd all this come from? Don't need that nonsense. Did that autocomplete at some point? This should be, yeah. Whoa, hold on. Is Prisma doing that? What? Format. I'm going to turn that off. Okay. Prisma's complaining. Oh. There we go. That's probably what was going on. Okay, so if I come back over here. Good. Yeah, this is good. Okay, so let's do npx prisma db or migrate dev. Yes. Many or multi-user chats. Yep, cool. And let's see what the SQL, oh man, I just love that the migrations are generated SQLs. All data in that column will be lost. All data in that column, that's fine. We don't need that data. We could, if we were really migrating this and we had existing data we didn't want to lose, then I'd bust out my SQL chops and we would do some sort of lookup on host ID and renter ID and put those in the right table or whatever. Chat to user. So that, yeah, they create that for you. Huh. That's interesting. Man, that is so cool. This is why you have an ORM, so you don't have to do nonsense like I was about to do. Because we do not need custom properties on that table. Sick, yo. Okay, so actually, chat ID. That's another one. Yeah, ships will have reviews. That will just be on the page though. Users will have reviews. That will just be on the page also. Do starports? I don't think I have a starport review. Yeah, and I don't think we need one. There's no extra learning for that. Okay. Bookings. Do we need a booking page? Probably, right? So I make my booking. Yeah, so we'll have bookings, booking ID. Oh yes, I do need to update the seed. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, TypeScript, for being amazing. Okay. So then we've got users. And how does this work? An array? I don't think this is how this is going to work. Goodness gracious. Create, yeah. Or connect. Yeah. Oh, hold on a second. Yeah, 1 second. All right, just hold on a second. What is that? Oh, yeah, that's part of the screen there. Yeah, just my son thought he lost his Legos, but his dad put them away for him, and in a little plastic bag so that he wouldn't lose them. Okay, so we have user ID, or I guess ID. This is how I think it's supposed to work, but I think I might be wrong. Oh snap, it worked. Or at least TypeScript isn't mad about it anyway. Sweet. So then we have chat. Oh, and actually, let's see if I do include users true. So now I can say chat.users at 0. Oh, come on. Users at 0. Yeah. Man, that's so sick. Prisma is amazing. Okay, good news. So we've got bookings. We just want bookings as well. That's just a listing. We're going to need chats and chat ID. We want search. Of course, we have login and sign up. And then, yeah, we're going to need terms of service, code of conduct, about, privacy, support. Now, make the route files. Oh, that's too bad. That doesn't work. I'm pretty sure there's a generator, though. So somebody made a Plop generator. It was pretty cool. I like Plop. Should I bother doing that? I'm not going to use theirs. I don't use other people's generators, just not because they're not good enough or anything, but because I always like to customize it. Here, and actually, let's make sure we run the run or Prisma db seed. Just run that seed script, make sure it runs properly. Boy, Boy, that does take some time, doesn't it? It's a lot of data, I guess. Probably inefficiently done as well. Oh, good grief. Now you're okay with it. Yeah, kind of thinking I should make a generator. Not because this is a lot, but because that actually would be kind of useful. Let's see, remix plop generator. Yeah, from Brad. Wow, what in the world was that? Oh, neat. Plop load. Source. Template route. Nah. No, we're not going to do that. Okay. So we've got the home page. Here, actually, let's commit stuff. Multi-user chat. Okay. User's username. Route. You know what? Should we eventually, Remix is going to switch to flat routes. Most definitely. So, Remix flat route. Yep, from Kilman. We're pretty sure this is going to happen, I think. Yeah, I think we probably want to do this. So, let's do this. And grab flat routes in our Remix config. Yeah, there's options. Base path and visit files. What is the visit files thing for? No idea. Wonder what the heck that thing does. You can specify your own visitor, I guess. The only thing I would like is the ability to ignore, because what I had before is I want to ignore test files.
Your break is coming up. Begin to come out of flow. this break is a great opportunity to enjoy a breathing exercise.
Something like this. Let's come back. Yeah, I can't tab. That's one annoying thing about using tabs, I suppose. All right, we'll see what Michael says about that. We are going to take the break, so I will be back soon. And we're back. Somebody just asked in the Discord whether these YouTube live streams are going to be around forever or not. And my plan is to keep them around forever. I don't see any reason why I'd take them down. So, yeah. Okay. So, coming back here. I'm pretty sure that we're going to be in trouble with something. Oh, I guess not. We don't have any tests or CSS in there for right now, so we're good, and hopefully we can get what we are looking for out of this soon. So cool. Let me look at this issue. I think I just had something in here that's irrelevant to what we're doing here. So here we go. That's better. That's interesting. GitHub is very interesting. Look, so there's no tab characters, but if I refresh, now they suddenly appear. I do not understand GitHub sometimes. Okay, so base path should be relative to the app folder. If you want to use the routes folder, you will need to update the ignore route files property. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Okay, routes. Auth landing. Auth, yeah, pathless route, single underscore. Okay, so for that, I know that he has a way for me to migrate myself, but let's see if I can do it on my own. So this would be auth dot and auth dot. Let me move both of these out and get rid of the auth thing. What the heck? Huh, that's funny. I didn't realize that my notes was inside of the routes directory. There was a route for my notes. Okay, so now yeah, this is just auth stuff. So we don't have anything actually there yet. Let me read a little bit more about the convention here. Could be folders holding their own modules inside. Okay, here, let's take a look. Make it easier for the routes to For example, these routes could be folders holding their own modules. So we have, where's the auth thing coming from? That's not in there. But anyway, we have landing.about can have an index, and then everything else in there. So landing.index. The route ignore patterns option. What is that he's talking about in there? After having read the docs, I see that the folder solution is a good one, or is the intended solution to this kind of co-location, which is great. I do think having the option would be good still. Also, I just saw a note about, what is that? Or a reference to in the docs. Okay, sorry, one second. My son is knocking on my door. I'll be right back. Okay, hopefully we don't get any more interruptions. He is having a little trouble. Okay. Great. So, coming back over here, or let's just use the docs as a reference. Pretty confident this is the direction we're going to go. And besides the fact that I think this is the right way to do it, and we can do it. So we're going to do it this way because this is how I would build it if I was building it. I am building it, and we're going to do it this way. Okay. So file name convention, yeah, normal route, dot with no layout. Yeah, okay. File name with children, parent layout route. Yeah, because it has dots child. Okay, and yeah, so the reason this doesn't have a layout is because there's no pages.jsx. But because there's an about.jsx, now the contact is a child of that one. That makes total sense. And it actually looks even better when it's all alphabetized too. Okay, so dot, we have a child, index, the index. So when there is no child, this is what gets rendered. Trailing underscore URL segment, no layout. So if I wanted to have about/company, but I didn't want to be a child of about, that's how you do that. That's cool. Leading underscore layout nesting, no URL segment. That makes sense. Yeah. So auth login. So there's a parent UI, but there's no, it's not /auth, it's just /login. Users, user ID, yep, URL param, splat route, dashboard route, route suffix, optional, ignored completely. Oh. I don't know why I'd ever want to do that. Explicit layout file, same as parent folder. not sure I understand those two. And then brackets escapes the conventions. Yeah. So if you wanted investors/index, that makes sense. Okay. Excuse me. Right. So let's see here. We've got users. Yeah, we're not going to have a users page because that wouldn't make any sense. You're not going to search users. That would be weird. So we will just have a, yeah, I don't know why I need to do this anywhere else. Users.username. Remix component user user route. Okay. I'm going to try something kind of clever. App or touch app routes. Oh, actually, here, let's get rid of this first. We'll add that back here in a second. And all these turn into dot. And then this turns into TSX. And then app routes. And actually, instead, pb paste. I come over here. What the? Why is it taking so long to delete this file? Okay, and then unnamed route. Okay, here we go. Paste this, and then boom. I got 2 dots in some of these. I don't know why. How did that happen? That's weird. How did I get 2 dots in some of these that were created? All right, whatever. Oh, the question mark. Yeah, rats. Okay. Ah, drat. Okay, so let's try this again. Those are going to be escaped. Okay, paste it. Boom. There we go. Did that work? Yeah, booyah. Cool. Reactor, what? All right. Why is my editor going so slow? What's going on? Let's reload. No, that was stupid. I think it's actually fine. Shouldn't need React in those. Okay, cool. Oh, whoops. So let's undo that. And undo that. Okay, cool. So all we should see is that. And then what we can do, come over here, npx remix routes. There we go. We've got our route. That is our pathless route. We've got our about page. We've got our auth/provider. We'll deal with that later. And /callback. And bookings and booking ID, chats, chat ID, code of conduct, health check, index route, login, logout, privacy search, ships, ship ID. You know what? Instead of calling them ships, we should call them rockets because it's rocket rental, not ship rental. Should we do that? In the database, yeah, we call them ships. We'll call them ships. That's fine. Rocket rental, it's just cute. Okay, ships, ship ID, book and edit. Ships new, sign up, starport, starport ID, support. Okay. I think that's good. And then if I pop this open, go to ships, whatever, unnamed route. Users, whatever, unnamed route. Nice. Okay. Great. Flat routes. Okay, so now we're going to just say about page, whoops, or route. Let's go to starports. Starport route. And here, we're going to export a remix loader. And type of loader that thing. Let's get our params. Invariant on params dot starport ID, missing starport ID. And then export function for get starport by ID. Prisma dot starport dot find. Cool. Starport. Then we'll throw a new response. Not found. Status 404. Next catch boundary. We'll catch that. Starport not found. Beautiful. And this is complaining because, oh, whoops. We just need an ID, not an object with an ID. There we go. So now if I run the dev server, starports, whatever, invariant missing starport ID. Now that's interesting. That is not what I expected to happen. I may have misspelled this somewhere. Oh, start port. Haha. There we go. Okay, and then if we Prisma Studio and look for our star port, just grab this one. Boom, starport. There's no data there. That's interesting. Oh, right, starport. There we go. Beautiful. Starport, ID, name, description, image URL, latitude, longitude, created at. Awesome. Okay. And what else would we want to have on here? A list of ships, or I think maybe it would just be a link to the search page that would allow you to search through the list of ships that with an automatic filter for only ships that are at this starport. Yeah, yep. Just for funsies though, let's just do this. Include ships. Look at that. Oh my gosh, I can't believe how cool this is. Prisma, wow. It's amazing how easy that was. For goodness sake. Yeah, that's so rad. Okay, cool. So there's our starport route. Let's do, what else is easy? I want to start with easy stuff. Probably users. Probably lots of the same stuff as here. This one we're going to await require user. So I need to require that the user is logged in, which is going to be right, authenticator.is is authenticated request. This returns a promise. Yeah, failure redirect. Okay, user. And this could be, oh, wait. This will be our user ID. String or null, unless I do a failure redirect, in which case now this will be a string. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that. But in this case, actually, you don't need to be authenticated. You can see other like users things. So yeah, we're good. Instead of starport, this is going to be username and get user by username. No, user. You know what? One other thing, use params. We're going to do that for our starport. Also, use params. Params starport ID. Okay, sweet. So we've got our user. Let's come over here. Users, Cody. Cody not found. Oh, that's interesting, because I'm pretty sure we've got a Cody. User filters, add a new filter. Username, whoop, equals Cody. Yep, right there. So I've got something wrong. Username. Where? Username. Ha ha ha. There we go. Copy paste error. No image URL for Cody. Whoops. Seed. Cody. Faker, image, avatar. And let's seed this thing. Prisma DB seed. Prisma Studio. And eventually, Cody will be in there. There he is. Yeah, clear all. Let's get rid of this. We don't need this. Okay, Cody's in there. And yeah, just for the fun of it, we'll add a image source. Yeah, it still doesn't work for me. That's so weird. All right, let's see. What does Cody look like? He looks great. I don't know why that doesn't work for me. That's so strange. I wonder if it's Brave that's doing that. No, it is a DNS problem. Cloudflare IPFS. DNS probe, something. Can't remember what it was called. DNS probe possible. Yeah, no idea. Oh well, it's not super important at the moment. Okay, cool. So then, that is our user stuff. At the start of this, a lot of these routes are going to look the same. They will change over time. This is not all just boilerplate. This stuff does need to be here. Okay, let's add an outlet. And bookings. Okay, come up here, bookings, server, TS, and export a function called get bookings for user. User ID string, and return prisma dot booking dot find many, where user ID is user ID. And this is complaining because, or where renter ID is user ID. Let's rename this to just renter ID for renter. Okay. Get bookings for renter. Now this, we do want to be authenticated. So, await, authenticator dot is authenticated request. Yeah, failure redirect will go to, I don't know, where should it go? Could have it go to login, or just to the user's homepage. That seems fine. So users params. Yeah. User ID. User ID. Do. Bookings. This is unlikely to ever happen. Yeah, in fact, that will never happen. You're always going to get an array back. It just may be empty. We had a big, long discussion about this, and I answered, or I gave my opinion in a call podcast episode. So if you want to look that up, something about 404s and stuff, I'll look it up for you in case you're interested. 404. Not found. Man, this will be hard, actually. I wonder. Not found. Nope, nothing found. 404. Nope. Huh. I can't remember what this was called. Maybe it was empty. There we go. No, yeah, catch boundary on empty data sets. That's what we're talking about. So, take a look at that. It's kind of interesting conversation going on there. Okay. So, we've got our bookings. And no catch boundary needed here as of yet. Cool. So now we come over here. No bookings for Cody. But if we just grab just about anybody else, we should have bookings. Whoops, that is. Now let's look bookings. Renter. Yeah, I want that. Open a new tab. There we go. Gillian. Open a new tab. There we go. Username. What? No bookings. Something's not quite right here. Oh, right. Bookings. I'm getting redirected because I'm not logged in as that user. That makes sense. Okay. Now I'm logged in. Yeah, it works. Man, that's so cool. Okay, so we've got all of our bookings. I'm thinking we're sending more data than we need to. We don't need to send the created at or updated at for either one of these things. Let's go into our models. Select ID, true. So should we have a booking page? Yeah, so we have a list, and then, yeah, actually, that would make sense. So we'd have users.username.bookings. Should it be /username? Oh, it wouldn't make any sense, right? Yeah, this page doesn't even make sense. Yeah, it should just be under bookings. Yeah, all the stuff that I did over here, No, we'll just stick it in bookings and get rid of this thing. And then we have an outlet for a particular booking ID. And yeah, in this case, we don't have a param. And so we don't, yeah, if we redirect, we'll redirect to login. Redirect to I need to add a query string to here. Yeah, there we go. Okay, cool. So now, boom, nice. And then booking ID, some of the same stuff here. Still gonna authenticate, yada, yada, yada. And then get booking by ID. I must not have saved that. Return Prisma booking find unique where ID is that, and then select and we want the ID. We want the oh good grief! Come on, put me at the autocomplete. What do you think I'm trying to do? You want me to? I don't get it. Part of me is thinking that I don't need this models file. It's just indirect. Yeah, I think this is stupid. Let's get rid of the models file. We'll add it back later if we want. We're going to do the same thing for starport. Starports. No.
Your break is coming up. Begin to come out of flow.
Booking, find many, where, renter ID.
Sweet work. Now enjoy a break. This break is a great opportunity to enjoy a breathing exercise.
Params dot booking ID. And actually, where's our starport stuff? We'll copy some of this stuff. Sorry, I'm supposed to take a break right now, but I am almost to a good stopping point, so we will push on through. Booking. And we need renter ID as user ID, right? find first renter. There we go. I didn't like that find unique because renter is not a unique field, and so it's like, well, I don't know, but I want to use renter ID in here with the user ID, so that if somebody of a different user ID tries to access this booking, they won't be able to find it. Not found. So, cool. So now I come over here, and then I'm like, I want to see this booking. There it is, down here. So this way, I can easily come up here to bookings and say select ID true. And that's it. Boom, just got our IDs. So that way I can only have the stuff that I actually need. There we go. Is there anything else that's important on here? Not that I need. Yeah, cool. See, there we go. All right, now I'm going to take the break. So we'll see you in about 5 minutes-ish. Oh, it's the wrong one. I want to die. All right, let's rock. So we've got our bookings. Yeah, this is sweet. Let's do chats. Yeah, a listing of chats. This is here, and actually bookings, we don't have to be user bookings, it's just bookings. And yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, for chats, this will be chats route. Chats. It's probably be best as H1, as it occurs to me. Booking. There we go. Chats route. Chats H1. And user's got to be authenticated where, so this is chat. Users. Ooh, now this is in some user ID. I don't know how to do this. Ah, yeah, okay. Yep, there we go. Sorry, I hope that it's not super loud when I cough in the corner like that. Maybe I should just mute myself when I feel a cough coming up. Okay, and these are our chats. Okay. Sweet, and then our booking ID will be like our chat ID. Chat route, chat. Chat ID. Messages, true, ID, in select, ID true, sender, ID true. Here, instead of sender ID, so we could include the image URL, but there will be a lot of duplicate things here. So, yeah, this is probably not the best way to do that, not the most efficient. Yeah, sender ID. Okay, and chat ID. Users. Oh yeah, you had it. Some ID, user ID. Yep, sweet. And we get all the messages, message ID, sender, and content. And then participants, await, Prisma, user, find, many, where what am I looking for? Basically, I need to look at all of the messages. Hold on. No, it's just users right here. Yeah, that's all I need. That's better. And then I can select their image URL. Yeah, there we go. I was thinking I'd have to look through every single one of the messages, get all the IDs for all those messages, but that would be ridiculous. Okay. Now we're talking. Okay, so we've got our chat. Chat. All right, so let's look at chats. Let's look at this chat. Freaking A, this is so cool. Users, messages, oh my gosh. Man. This is rad. Okay. And I'm really digging the flat routes. That's awesome. Might get kind of interesting if you had like 6,000 routes or something. Ryan said, I think he had 2,000 at Instructure with Ruby on Rails. That's a lot of routes, my friends. But still, yeah, 2,000. Might need some sort of editor plugin to make that palatable, which I think actually you can do with VS Code. But I don't know, it was pretty nice. Okay, anyway, we've got our chats. Let's take a look at, we'll just call this the code of conduct. Health check is good. Index, we're gonna leave Sonic the Hedgehog there for a little while longer. Log in, log out, privacy. Search will be the last thing. That's gonna be the most complicated to get off the ground. So let's go with ships. Trying to think if we should have a ships page. Like with Turo, they've got browse by make, browse by destination, by experience. See, each one of these, for me, in my mind, it could just be a link to the search page with the filter. That's our MVP. So, do we need a page that is ships, or is that just what the search page is? And maybe, instead of search, we could just call it ships. That's what we'll do, ships. However, yeah, we want these, that's what the underscore after means, right? If you put an underscore afterward, trailing underscore URL segment, but no layout. Yep, that's what we want. Here we go. So ships. Okay, so then we come over here to, I think that booking will be a modal route. It's not
halfway through your allocated time.
It's not my favorite pattern, but it's pretty common, a common product requirement. So I think it'd probably be a good one to do. Edit would not, though. Yeah, just thinking about that. Should it be a modal route? Modal routes are the worst. It's bad UX. It's hard to server render, and often what they do is they will, when you navigate over there, they'll have a modal. When you land on there, it won't be a modal. That's what Instagram does. And Twitter used to do that. I don't have an Instagram account, so I can't show you or look at it, but I think it might work. Who's got an Instagram account? I don't know who has an Instagram account that, let's see, Instagram, Turo. Sure, there we go. So if I click on one of these, poo on you. See, now I can't navigate there, but it's not a modal. Oh no, that's interesting. Yeah, I know you want me to have the thing, but I don't want to have the thing right now. Whatever. Anyway, I think that, I think maybe that's okay. Probably be a good thing. Doesn't matter right now, I think. We'll start with it being just a child route. Yeah, and then we can change it later. Okay, so we've got our ship ID. Let's get our ship. So starport route is most similar to this. Ship route. Okay, and here, let's go to ships. And we'll just list all the ships to start. No need to be logged in. All right, cool. So now I can go to ships. I can look at this ship. Beautiful. Yeah, okay. Yeah, for now, we'll just get rid of the request. I was going to grab the search params and stuff, but you know what? Let's do that. Search params and search params.get brand ID. This is going to complain because it's got to be a string or a string filter or undefined. Okay, and so then if I come over here, we go ships, and let's also list brand ID. Sweet. All the brands are the same. Let's see, what else could there be? What if we do get all? Rats. I messed up something. There we go. So now we got this brand ID and brand ID. Yeah, now we got both. So now you can do multiple brands. I don't know if that's something we want, but there you go. It's pretty easy to do. Okay, what else could we search for this? Yeah, I guess availability. So that'll be a little more tricky. I don't think that we could get availability. Let's see. You could do end date is, so you'd provide a range. So you'd have a start and an end. And I think you could do this. So you'd have a start and an end. So then you would need to say the booking end date. No, I don't know if this would work. All right, we're not going to go too far into that. We'll get to that later. What else? Capacity? Yeah, sure. So if I'm a user, probably the UI is going to look like I need something capacity min max. So greater than or less than or equal. Capacity min, capacity max, or I got them switched up. Hold on, what happens if you go number of null 0? Okay, so we want to say number capacity min, otherwise undefined. Come on. Come on, Copilot. You can do this. Here we go. So if either one of them are defined, then we'll have this be there. Okay. So then here, let's add a capacity. Also, yeah, okay. True. So I can come over here. We'll say, and capacity min. We want it to be from 6. Capacity max 9. That's cool. Four and 3. Yeah, that's neat. All right, that's probably further than I need to go for right now on this. It's just kind of fun to look at that. But it's kind of fun. So what else could we do? Oh yeah, charge. daily charge min and max, and daily charge okay, then we could say, and daily charge min is, well, let's just do a max. Let's see if that works. 200. Yep. 500. And if we add daily charge min is 200, we get that one out. Sweet. Yeah, that's pretty rad. Alonso is chatting. Let's take a look at what underrated things to teach, and I don't see you really getting is configuration, scripting, set up workflow for projects. I do plan on including some of that in Epic Remake or Epic Web. Not at the start, but definitely eventually, because the plan is to teach everything that I know about web dev. And so that includes my dev setup, and especially since the target eventually will be developers who have never, who've never done development before, who are just kind of looking into it. And so they don't have any opinions on what editor to use or whatever. And so, yeah, anyway, it just occurred to me. Oh, that line. Okay. There's like a line above my head, like right there. And I didn't realize that's the HR that I have in my app. I thought there's something wrong with my green screen or something. Yeah. So I'm definitely planning on covering that. How do you render editor white spaces with these arrows? That is called, what is it called? White space. So the arrows, those are tabs. I use tab characters instead of spaces. Yeah, and there's something in here for, render white space characters. Yeah, that's what it is. Editor, render white space. Okay, let's move on. I think we've got a pretty sweet search page now. Yep, and then you just go, I want this one. Boom, there I am. I've got all the things I can display, something awesome, and it'll look cool. Okay, so we've got our ships now. Yeah, and then ship ID book. So our ship ID, this we want to have a trailing thing as well. We don't need that to be within that ship ID layout, but this here will have an outlet for the booking book route. You want to book this thing? So then I can say book. There it is. Ta-da! Will I cover Express or another framework on the back end? I don't need to. Look at this thing. I've got ability to interact with third-party providers and stuff. I can do all sorts of stuff. I don't need to get into Express. This is an API endpoint. So I probably will get into I'm definitely getting into resource routes. Yeah, I don't think that I'm going to need to do much more. So yeah, we're only going to cover what is needed for the app that I'm building, and so I'm making sure that the app is as real world as possible. so that it covers the stuff that you need in the real world. And my assertion is you don't need a backend framework like Express for developing web apps when you've got something like Remix. Okay. Yes, exactly what Vim said. Wonder if Remix removes the need for explicit backend. Not entirely, not by itself, like, but I think, and not for like 100% of the use cases in the world, but I think like most of them, certainly for this app, I don't think there will be any need for that. And that is exciting. I think that's a good thing. Okay, so we'll get to actions and stuff here in a bit. For the edit page, ship edit route. So then we can come over here and say edit. But we will have a Remix loader to let's see, yeah. Await authenticator is authenticated. Request fail redirect will be to ships params invariant. Nope, that's not what I want. Params dot ship ID. Nope, I don't want to send them to edit, just to the ship ID page. So if you're not authenticated, then that's where you go. We get the user ID from this, and we get the ship ID, or the ship from find first, where ID is the param ship ID and user ID. And Prisma is going to come from our DB server. And this is complaining because this needs to be host ID. Okay, cool. And we get our ship. If there's not a ship, then we'll do, yep, that thing. And that's how much of this are you going to complete for me? Booyah, baby. That's awesome. Okay, and then cool. So then, ship not found. Man, sweet. You know what? Another one that we're going to do in here is host ID. Okay, so then if I go to, we should have a me route. And it would just render the same thing that the username route renders, I think. Users.username. Or maybe it just redirect. Yeah, let's do that. me.tsx loader. Await authenticator is authenticated. Success. Oh, what? Oh, request. Success redirects. Nope. Failure redirect. We'll just send them to login. User ID. Oops. User name. Await Prisma. User. Find find unique. Where ID user ID. if there's not a user, then we want to log the user out, I think. Amir is asking, what about enterprise apps? Can we use Remix for those custom apps? Absolutely. Totally. 100%. And here we're going to return a redirect to users slash user.username. Hold on a second. I guess that's just in case. This should do it for you, but yeah, whatever. This actually, we want to go to login. And then redirect to request URL. Okay, cool. So now I can go to me and it'll send me to my user page, which is quite nice. And so now I can go to ships where the host ID is my ID, and I don't have any ships. So I've got to log out and log into somebody who's got ships. Close, close. Could be handy if you could just, what if you just did this? id.tsx. Ooh, this is going to be cool. Okay. Params. And we're going to say invariant params.id, missing ID, and then we'll say yeah, user that did not Prisma. There we go. If user return redirect to a user's username. Why am I getting this? Oh, cannot find what? Okay, that was odd. And then ship await Prisma ship find unique. Yep, and then we can do the same thing for starports and planet, haha, chats or chat. And then the chat page will take care of like making sure the user is allowed to do that. But yeah, hey, this would be a great question to ask either during office hours or on the Call Kent podcast. And also, I need to fix the bot because this self-destruct message thing doesn't work anymore. It's kind of annoying. Okay, and now we're not looking for message. I feel like there was one other booking. Come on. Anything else? I think that's it. Cool. So now, this is pretty cool. So now I can say, the whole reason I did all that stuff was so that I could find, what am I trying to do? I just finished ship. Yeah, I want to be able to test looking for a host. So, if we're looking for a ship, and then we've got a host ID. So then I can go /that, and that will take me to the user. That's so cool. If I go here, whoops, that takes me to the ship. Oh, that is a cool feature that other apps should have. I think that is cool. Okay, anyway, so this is the user I need to log in as. Or actually, I don't need to log in as them. I have their ID, so I can go ships where host ID equals that. Boom, I found all of that host's ships. Alonso, that's a good question. Definitely way more complex than anything else I've ever built. Already it's more complex. The most complex thing I've built before is Bookshelf LOL, which was 100% in the browser. Do I have a login for this? Nope. So I can't remember. I'm pretty sure I did, but yeah. The spinners and stuff were just added, like it's all made up because it's all just local storage. This is cool though. And yeah, like check this out. Dev tools. Is that no, maybe dev tools. I can't remember. Shoot, I can't remember. There's a query param to enable the dev tools, and I can't remember what it is. But it's pretty rad. Anyway, yeah, I mean, it's a cool site for sure, but
Your break is coming up. Begin.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be way more complex. It uses an actual backend and stuff. As far as like talking about software architecture, that will come naturally. I don't think that I'm going to call things out specifically, but yeah, like as we're building it, there will be important concepts that you learn and stuff. Cool. So that, and then edit. We'll send you back here. Ships new.
Sweet work. Now
Oh yeah.
another break.
Book.
Give yourself some gratitude for the work you did.
Okay, I'm going to take a break, and we'll be back in about 5 minutes. All right, so I do have a haircut in 45 minutes, so I'm gonna leave in about a half hour, maybe 20 minutes. So let's see if we can, yeah, what else we can get done in that time. But I freaking love this. This is awesome. An ID route. Wow, why doesn't everybody do this? Like the about page still works and everything. Yeah, that's just rad. It's so rad. See, I can go here. Boom. Yeah, that's so cool. Okay. This is for our new ship. Here's a terms of service route. Might need a CMS, actually. That'll be interesting. See, if I were building this for real, for like a real client, customers or whatever, would I build it with the CMS? I don't know. Certainly the ships and products and everything, that's going to be all custom. And we'll have our own forms and stuff for that. I'm sure there are plenty of CMSs that would love for me to use their service. I'd like to avoid using services in general, though I probably will use a service for email, because email deliverability is no joke. You pretty much have to use a service for that. I do for my site. So we will use services for some things. I don't think that I'm going to use a CMS though. Okay, user edit route. Okay, new ship route. Okay. Verify login, is that? Yeah, that's being used in our authenticator thing. Yeah. Okay, cool. Scaffolded pages. Okay, I think we can say our pages have been scaffolded. Oh, did I do to the chats? Yeah, I did. We got chat ID. Okay, cool. Yeah, okay.
Sweet job. Keep it up.
I think pages have been scaffolded. I finished that an hour ahead of schedule. Good for me. What do I want to do next? Right now it's saying I'm burning up time on building the admin interface. Still not convinced I need to do that. The sign-up experience, we do have a login, new here, sign-up experience. Probably would be good to have email verification as a part of this. When you create a new user, email must be unique and is required. Just kind of thinking maybe we don't even create the user until they've verified their email. So it would be like kind of the way that I do my own site is you type in your email. If there's no user, then I send an email that says, hey, you can create your account by clicking this link. And then I take you through the onboarding process. So, I mean, I think that companies like Turo probably don't want to limit the amount of friction between for sign up, and if you're required to like they want to get you in as far as they possibly can before you do in fact have to verify your email and stuff, so that you're committed. And so if I add friction at the beginning of that, then that will probably goes against that objective. But this is a pretend product; it's not real, and I get to make product decisions. And as long as those product decisions, as long as those product decisions don't lead to inappropriate learner outcomes, then we're fine to make the product decision that makes our job easier. So, Vim is over here asking about the CMS decision line with the customer. Yeah, probably. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. The only CMSs I've ever used were like in-house. So I've never actually used a service, a CMS before. I would also like VS Code shortcuts. I use the most. Yeah, that would be. Yeah, might be an interesting one. Tricky one to really teach. I just use them naturally now, so I don't know. Okay, yeah, email. So I think what I'm going to do is we're not going to create a user until you have verified your email. So if you get to the user creation flow, we know that that email exists. So the way that we're going to do that is similar to the way that I do user or magic links, where I encrypt a special, I just encrypt a JSON object that includes the user ID or the email address, and I stick that in a cookie, and then I send you a link that has that encrypted code in as a search param. And then when you click on that link, I check, does that match what's in your cookie? Okay, so you are the same. Maybe I wouldn't do that part, because the challenge that you run into is they, if you put it in the cookie, then it applies to just that browser. But if they open an in-app browser in their mail client, then that's a different browser. The cookie won't be shared. So instead of the cookie thing, we'll just encrypt it, send it in an email, and then we'll decrypt it. We'll know that we're the ones who created that because we encrypted it. And so we know that you got it from us. You can't like just create these. And so we'll find out what was the email address. Okay, cool. So that'll be pre-filled, and then you can fill in the rest of the information. That's how we're going to do that. Yeah. Okay. So that I'm going to write some of this down in centered. So implement encrypting email address link. Then support sending email. And then implement onboarding or sign up process. Yeah, that's kind of what this is. I'll just delete that. Yeah, the encrypting bit, that's I've already got that from my own site, so that's going to be probably an hour. I'm going to delete this. We're not doing that. Sending the email and sign up process. The interesting thing will be third-party auth. I believe that from these auth providers, I can say, hey, I need their email address. And if you've got it there, then we're probably good. And so then I can just say, okay, well, what's your username here and all that other stuff. So that'll probably be a good thing to do after I finish all this other stuff. Sending email, that's probably going to take 1.5 hours. And sign up process, probably an hour. Okay, cool. I think that's good. I'm going to do some chores and stuff and then go do the haircut thing. As far as what to look for in the future, let me make sure I committed everything. Yep, everything's good. Oh, Google's listening to me for some reason. Yeah, so as far as what we have to look forward to, my live stream tomorrow, I'll be live streaming in the morning and in the afternoon. And I do believe that is, yeah, that is correct. I don't expect that I'll need to reschedule either of those. And then that will be the last live stream for a little bit because I'm at conferences this week. I probably will live stream from like my hotel room and stuff while I'm at those conferences, but I can't really schedule that very well. This is good news for those of you who are in a more Eastern time zone because I'm traveling to the East, and so I'll be live streaming more relative to your time zone, which could be cool. Okay, that is it for the live stream today. Thanks everybody for joining me, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.